All right, all right. Here we are on day 28. Crazy. Day 28 of swimforrecovery.com. Loving that. Swimforrecovery.com, I like to say. It's kind of fun. But excited for today. Oh my gosh, 3 more days. Totally crazy. Totally crazy. But here we are, ready to have some fun chatting with you all today. And no matter where you're tuning in from, I always encourage people to say hi, say hello, say what city you're in. If you're watching this from the beginning. And also, please share this post because Tammy has a great story she's going to share with you all. And I'm just pumped for it. So, ears feeling a lot better. Still doing the walking instead of the swimming thing, but getting the mile in a day as well. Going to make sure that happens for sure. So here we are. Date and remember September 29th. Whether you live in Michigan, Ohio, wherever, you can tap into this event right here because we're going to be streaming online. Going to have 6 inspirational speakers, all sorts of fun stuff. So if you're local here in Denver, make sure you come and register so we know how many people are coming. And 6 inspirational speakers. We're giving away a free copy of my book to everyone that shows up, and other giveaways, fun prizes, and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're here to share stories today. So please text this domain name out to your friends, family, people to check it out. All the other interviews are on that page currently for the whole month. So there's about 27 interviews on there now. I think I need to add 1 or 2 more. But anyway, we're ready to rock and roll with Tammy's story. And actually, I need to go tag her in this post real quick. Hold on. Let me go tag Tammy in this post. I texted her, let her know, but we're going to do this and say at Tammy. There it is. Where are you, Tammy? There you are. Okay, cool. All right. So we have tagged Tammy in the post. Now we're going to show her interview. So here we go. Enjoy Tammy's interview. And I'll be back on afterwards. Stay tuned because I want to tell you a lot more cool stuff that's going on with this event happening tomorrow night here in Denver. That's right. All right, here we go.
This meeting is being recorded.
This meeting is being recorded, as the statement just said. So yeah, cool. Tammy, thanks for hanging out today. I know you're going to share a little bit of your story and strength and hope with us on swimforrecovery.com. But Tammy Worthley is here with us. And what do you consider your sobriety date, Tammy?
October 23rd, 2011.
All right, just a little bit over a decade ago, which is pretty awesome. And
almost 11 years.
Yeah, a little field goal recovery right there. I love it. And what were your drugs or drug of choice?
Meth, alcohol, and men were my addictions.
All right, I haven't had anyone say men yet, so I love this. We'll talk about that because it's important, right, in our journey of how our addictions and things kind of manifest themselves. And what city and state are you in today?
Arvada, Colorado is where I live. I'm actually in Castle Rock right now at work. So.
All right, cool. At work. Well, I know you're changing a lot of lives in what you do now. We'll get to that for sure. But obviously there was a time in your life when before 2011 things weren't going so hot. So how did substances or men enter the picture in your life and grow to an addiction to where you needed to find recovery?
For me, drugs and alcohol were the solution to trauma, childhood sexual abuse, domestic violence, a lot of stuff that was self-inflicted by poor choices. I was told when I was 18 I wouldn't have kids, so I lived a life that I wasn't going to have kids. So it was a highway to hell. It was basically that way for a long time.
Yeah, that's some tough news to hear too. When you're 18, probably with sounds like the dreams of having kids. And
right.
And did that hold true through your life? Were you ever able to have children?
I did have kids when I was 33 and 36.
All right.
A son and a daughter. Yeah.
All right. And now, I mean, you're helping people all over the place right now with their own stories and journey, right? But but that's tough stuff to hear, especially when you went through, as you mentioned, abuse and everything as a child and further on. So how did that continue to kind of get to a point where you needed to change?
I got to a point where, I was addicted to the lifestyle of using meth and the people and the places and the things. And it got to the point where I got a truancy case with my son, and that led into a case with social services. And, that most people have well, for me, that was like the worst fear, you get your kids taken away or the threat of that. They saved my life. The county in which child welfare came into my home and gave me resources and gave me a way to tell the people around me that I had relapsed and that I needed help. And they gave me all those resources, and I was able to get clean and stay clean.
Wow. And when you mentioned like a lifestyle of meth, what does that look like for people that aren't familiar with a lifestyle using meth?
That means you hang around people that make meth, you hang around people that are criminals, you let people into your home that you would never let into your home. I always chose the wrong guy. I always, there was always a guy involved in my drug use or relapses or abuse, or I always picked the wrong one over my kids. I always, still was looking for that, the fairy tale ending in the middle of a drug addiction, which never came. And
Yeah.
it just kept getting worse.
Yeah, that's the journey, right? That's why. And in the midst of all that, there's probably something inside of you that didn't want to be doing what you were doing, but you didn't know how to change. Would that be appropriate?
No, absolutely. 2006, 2007, I went to New Directions, which is a family program. I got sober for about 4 years. And then, and I was must have been, something was not right. I knew I would have been going to meetings, and I stopped going to meetings, and I stopped talking to my sponsor, and I stopped doing all the things. And then a friend of mine wanted to go to the bar, and I thought that was a good idea, without drinking. And that only lasted a couple of weeks. And then we ended up at the dope man's house. So, because, life, I don't know, there was something inside me that wasn't done, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you mentioned you had good recovery in the beginning, right? And it went on for four years ish, right? But when you start eliminating those things, even in my own story, when 11 years into recovery, I had a mental breakdown and went to prison for a while. And it was because a lot of it, I stopped doing those things you're talking about that are good for us in our recovery. And so now this round of recovery, which has obviously been 11 years almost, which is pretty awesome. Actually, let's go back to the resources you received in that moment when you changed. What was that like to step into actually wanting and using resources?
Well, the first 30 days, my mom had to come live with us. That meant I had no decision-making power over my kiddos. They were 7 and 9 at the time. I had to go to the doctors in the school and say, I don't have any rights. I can't make decisions. I couldn't even be alone in the apartment with them. I couldn't walk them to the bus stop by myself. I mean, it was pretty intense. So my mom came and lived with us. She gave up her whole life for those 30 days. And then child welfare that in that county I lived sent me people to my house, like a life skills coach, and she taught me how to organize and clean my house by like 4 feet at a time. I peed in a cup like 4 to 5 times a week, my own pee. That's a big deal. I went to every group they told me to go to. I went to AA because that's what I did 270 meetings in my first 90 days of recovery because I didn't know how not to use drugs and alcohol, or mostly drugs. And I didn't know how to, I needed to stay sane, and my mom wouldn't let me drive anywhere. So we went to meetings. So everybody in the meetings knew my mom too. And we'd take the kids to the bus at 7 o'clock. We'd go to a morning meeting, and then we'd go to the noon meeting. We'd pick the kids up from the bus stop. We'd go to the 5:30 and then the 7. And then we'd vote if we'd stay for the 8:30. And 9 times out of 10, the kids would vote, we'd stay for the 8:30. And that wasn't our lives. I mean, that's how it had to be, because if it wasn't, I would be manipulating and try to figure out how I didn't have to do this.
Yeah, to any lengths, right? Go to any lengths, and here you are
Absolutely.
now. And I know you help people a lot in what you do. currently, but how's the relationship with your kids and your mom now, looking 11 years down the road?
My kids are now 18 and 20. They are amazing human beings. I mean, like we went to the recovery rally. My daughter goes to that. She goes to, I do stuff with Celebrate Recovery, like the summit in Dallas. My daughter always attends those things with me. And she doesn't have to, but she does. But like it's recovery. Our family is recovery based and about, helping others. It doesn't matter who that is, if that's somebody on the side of the road, or if that's somebody we know, or if that's somebody that needs food, or if that's somebody that needs a Christmas. That's what we do. My mom did pass in December last year, and that was hard.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, she sounds like an amazing woman. Helped you get through a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in my ass too. It's great. I loved her.
Yeah.
But we were
oh man, that's funny. She's laughing down on you right now, right? That's
yes.
there's my girl.
Yeah, I mean, she just wouldn't have it any other way. So
yeah. And you do a lot of Celebrate Recovery, it looks like, as well. That's why I saw you at the rally. Not even knowing that you were the one I was interviewing. We were just chatting a little bit. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So as we kind of wrap up, how does faith kind of play a role in your recovery today?
Like you said, I do a lot of Celebrate Recovery. So that means I'm the state rep for Celebrate Recovery Inside, which jails, institutions, rehabs. We're now going to go into Denver Women's Prison finally after COVID and all that. But for me, God is everything or he's nothing, because left to my own devices, I'm going to get high, or I'm going to just mess up my life. I mean, I'm going to, my self-will run riot, you know what I mean? God has put me on this path of sobriety, to give back to the child welfare. I'm going to graduate in the spring with my social work degree, and I'm already interning with Denver Human Services for the child welfare. I mean, and I have this amazing job that I wouldn't have. God just, God keeps directing me. There's miracles that happen all day long, every day for me. And sometimes I don't see a lot of them. Sometimes I see the big ones, but not the little ones. But God is, and it's a God of my understanding. It's going to be different for everybody. I do, Jesus Christ is what I call my God, but but it wasn't that way always. It wasn't that way in the beginning. It was just, I needed something bigger than me. And my God made the mountains and the seas and the rainbows. So if he can do that stuff, he can definitely take care of me, so I have to, go back to that. So.
Yeah. Amen to that. And thanks for sharing your journey. I mean, I love your story, and you are a miracle. You shouldn't be here right now, and you weren't supposed to have kids, and you have kids, and now you're getting degrees and going to helping people and coaching and just doing all the stuff you're doing. So God kept you alive for a bigger purpose, and you're on that pathway. So just want to say congratulations, keep on trucking or keep on riding, I guess I should say to you.
Yeah.
As I've got your Sturgis book right here next to me,
Yep.
Pick that up. So cool stuff. Well, you're an amazing woman, and I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to share your story on swimforrecovery.com, and you have an amazing rest of your day. And I'm sure we'll see you again soon, face to face somewhere. So
absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, Rob.
Yep, you're awesome. All right, there we go. Tammy, thank you so much. So much for that. So I'm actually going to pull up let me pull up this real quick for us, September 29th. All right, so Swim for Recovery is getting close to coming to an end, which is crazy. It's crazy to think. It's been a whole month, 28 days of at least a mile a day, equivalent to that in the pool. Like I said, update on the ear infection's a lot better. I get a lot of support and people asking about that. So I think the infection, they say, is gone, but just the swelling is still there, which is good. So I'm feeling pumped and stuff for tomorrow night. So speaking of tomorrow night, let's show you what's going on tomorrow night if you don't already know. All right, here we go. All right, awesome. Well, here we go. So tomorrow night, mark your calendars. If you're in Denver, make sure you come to this because it's going to be awesome. And so we're having a night of inspiration. This is a celebration of my recent book that was published. So everyone that comes live and in person, some people that are asking about the streaming, no, I will not be mailing books out to people. But if you're live and in person, we're gonna have 6 inspirational speakers. We got Kirk Samuels, myself, Kelly Ryan, Frank Sinclair, Gary Barnes, and Bree Reese here in the Denver metro area. Free books while supplies last, free giveaways, door prizes, all sorts of fun things. And it's from 6:30 to 8:30. Doors will open around 6. So come on down and hang out. And then thanks to our sponsors, we have one more sponsor to add, which I'm excited about. But Elite Roofing, Landmark Recovery, Amari Global, Connect, Gallus Medical Detox, Accelerate Fuel Tabs, and Joyful Soul Counseling. So we have another one coming on today. Just need to get the final details from Terry, different Terry, not Terry at Connect, but a different Terry for that. So, and then that's the registration link right there. So make sure you register tonight. We're going to stream it online live through Facebook. You'll get all the details about that. It'll be coming out. Just make sure you register and keep your attention on Facebook because everyone that comes at the beginning, we're going to ask them to share the stream that's going to be going on from the Free Spiritual Community page. So that's it for now. Hey, God bless. And again, make sure to go check out all the interviews and things on swimforrecovery.com. Okay. That's what we're going to ask you to do and support it there if you'd like to. So we're going to